At this time, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you the class Salutatorian Kayet.
Good morning. Thank you all for coming today. I would like to thank the administration and staff for making today possible, my family, friends, and the Boofers for always being there for me, and of course, class of 2017. One day a few months ago, I woke up and I felt infected. I could barely get out of bed. Didn't need to check WebMD to figure out what I had. I had senioritis. Usually people think being a senior is awesome because you can indulge in senioritis and chill out. But I think of it as the other way around. Having senioritis is awesome because you're almost done with the goal. A big problem that students have is that they automatically assume that being in school is supposed to be a fun time. We all know it's not. School seems to have a natural tendency to be the opposite of any definition or synonym of the word fun. I've actually heard some people have the audacity to compare it to prison. It's not designed to be a fun vacation that you enjoy over a decade of your life at. However, all is not lost. Even though the majority of students find secondary education completely devoid of any enjoyment, it's up to each of us to push through and finish the job and set ourselves up for the future. In 2010, in my 6th grade, I went to Japan for about 75% of the school year. Being in a foreign country was tough. I had a limited vocabulary, none of my classmates spoke English, and soon I had effectively alienated myself, and I wasn't happy. But here's where the analogy to school comes in. I figured out what made these kids tick, and I stopped doing it. You have to figure out what makes you tick and connect it to school. As I said, secondary education is not designed to be enjoyable. Now there's a saying that says time flies when you're having fun. Too bad school isn't. But if time flies with little bird wings when you're having fun, it flies attached to a rocket when you've got a deadline. I learned to challenge myself and manage deadlines through taking the most rigorous classes that are offered here. Setting your mind on something and getting it done is what drives us through life. The final goal that we all carry through each year of high school is of course graduation, and every sub-goal is what leads up to it. Einstein made his theory of relativity based on time and space, but I'm pretty sure there is a third category called school time. In some days in my time in Japan, time went so slow I quite literally thought the clock was broken. It's like when you're sitting there for an hour and you look up and it's only been 7.5 minutes. Thus, everything you do to float through school doesn't have to be inside its walls. You need to enjoy life. I know many people who won't believe me, but it's quite possible to want to wake up and go to school. I never played school sports, so I can't really speak to it, but I did practice judo for a number of years. Sometimes after a class getting beat up by my little brother, the adrenaline clears the mind. I clearly remember texting a solution to some math problem that I had figured out after being energized from my sensei demonstrating chokeholds when I volunteered to be the test dummy. It's those things that take your mind off of your education that make the dopamine levels rise, like your friends. As a person who ended up having 0 friends in the country I was residing in, I'm quite confident in saying that friends make the life points rack up. I'm sure there's some wicked scientific study out there that says your level is happiness when you're with them. It's these friendships and familial relationships that we rely on to help us move through life easier and achieve the goals we set. In judo, when you're struggling to get the pin and it seems like the opponent is going to win, you have to disengage, collect yourself, and go in with a stronger attack, accepting that victory might come later than you expected. This may seem weird coming from me on multiple levels, but sometimes you have to relax and take the L every once in a while. You might have to cut your losses and do better in everything else. It's not like you get beaten after failing a single quiz. When you find what makes you tick, you figure out what's important to you, and you excel in that area. Unless you're taking AP US History, then those chapters become the most important thing in your entire existence as a human being. After finding what makes you happy, you stick with it until it's over. Education isn't some evil monolith hovering in the mist to be dreaded, but it's there and it's necessary. When you know you don't get out of it, you find ways to make it through and make it your own. Let other activities ease your mind and reduce the stomach acid from building up. Figure out what you find is success and achieve it. When we graduate, we achieve one goal. The end of this challenge marks the beginning of a future with many more. We'll all end up seeing many different challenges, related to college or not, neither more important than the others, but both to be completed for fulfillment in life.